As a family member or friend, you may be the first to notice when a veteran you love has been going through changes. Things like withdrawing, drinking more, or increased anger could be a sign of a larger health concern, but help is available. Listen to hundreds of inspiring stories at maketheconnection.net and learn how you can support the veterans in your life. Treatment works. Recovery is.
Ask an Attorney is sponsored by the law offices of Joe Pippen. Learn more at attypip.com.
Ask an attorney about Florida law. Ask an attorney, just give him a call.
This is Ask an Attorney, all about Florida law with Attorney Joe Pippen. If you have a legal question, call Joe right now. In Tampa, call 813-287-5700. Anywhere else, toll free at 877-943-9673. That's 877-943-9673. The law office is open. And now your host, Joe Pippen.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to Ask an Attorney, all about Florida law. I'm Attorney Joe Pippen, practicing attorney. The law office is open. If you have a legal question of any type, I've come in on a Saturday morning, May 1st. Happy May to everyone. But if you have a legal question, something maybe you've been concerned about all night, couldn't sleep all that well, something happened during the week, something you just would like to know that came up maybe in your reading or watching the news, some legal question, I'd be more than glad to help you. It doesn't even have to be a legal question. It just can be a problem. I'm here to help solve problems, give people peace of mind, and do the very best I can and educate you with the knowledge I have. So if you have a legal question, might not know the answer, but I've done the show now for 37 years, longest running continual show, same format, same host in Florida, maybe even the nation. I'm not sure about that, but 877 is the toll-free number. 877 toll-free 943 9673. 877-943-9673. And you're listening on multiple stations around the state of Florida. The stations in Florida carry the program. You might be listening anywhere in the world, actually, on the internet. Most of the stations have a listen live feature on their station. And you can get it on the internet. We're also broadcasting live on WeBeam TV. You can actually watch the show today if you want to go to WeBeamTV.com. If you'd like to watch a radio show, that'd be great. Also broadcasting live on Facebook and broadcasting today from Tampa. Every other week we broadcast from Tampa. Every other week, we broadcast from Jacksonville. And we are more than glad to be here and to answer your legal questions. And all you have to do to be on the show and have a question addressed is call the number 877-943-9673. Well, let's go to Joel in Sarasota.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So it's rather a complicated situation, but me and my girlfriend, we board a horse at a horse boarding facility in Tampa. In Sarasota. The woman that owns the property just recently sold it, but the property, half the property was sold to another individual. And they came out and did a survey, and there's two opposing surveys, and it's become a big nightmare. And we don't even know who the new owners are of the property that we board our horses on. And there's several boarders.
Okay, so you have a lease with someone who claims they own the property, and they board your horse.
Right, but now...
But you're not sure if they own the property that the horse goes to being boarded.
Right. Well, no, they just sold it. The owners told us that the closing everything was done yesterday.
Okay, so the new owners, are the new owners going to let you stay?
Well, and that's the question. We have no idea. Nobody has told us who the new owners are. It's...
Well, you can find out
right now.
If the property's been closed, probably within a day or so, the information will be public record who the new owner is.
Right.
And then you'll have access to the name, at least, and the address of the owner. Or at least where the tax bill goes. Here's what I would do, and because this is probably needs a in person or just a phone call off the air, but what I would probably do is just sit back and wait till somebody sends you a letter about new tenant. Here's the new. Do you have a written lease for the boarding?
Well, we did with the original owner.
Well, I'd have to see the lease to see if that's going to be, any language in there about upon the sale of the property or anything like that. And why won't the old owner let you know what's going on? They sold it.
We have no idea. All we know is they wanted to be done with horses.
I see. But you have that name and contact? You know where they are?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Well, they tell them you need to know what's going on. You need to know whether their lease, whether the new owner's advised of the lease, and the lease could still be a valid contract on the property, and whether they're going to honor it. And if you can't get the information yourself and you've done everything you can do, you need an attorney to write a letter for you and be your advocate. And let's end it there. That's about all I can do for you, really, I think, on this call.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for calling.
I appreciate it.
All right, my pleasure. Thank you. If you have a legal question, you have a toll-free number, 877-943-9673 is the toll-free phone number, 877 to call the show, no matter where you are. That number should work, 877-943-9673. Let's go to John in Bradenton.
Good morning, Joe. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Yeah. If I have a trust and it calls out in there that I become incapacitated and the successor trustee has the power to, handle my affairs, and why do I need a power of attorney in addition to that?
Because the trustee of the trust only can handle assets that are in the trust, and the power of attorney is designed to handle everything else so you wouldn't be declared incompetent. And things that are not in the trust, examples are, at least my power of attorney documents have powers to deal with health care. I mean, that's not an asset in the trust. It's just taking care of your person. It takes care of insurance, annuities, retirement accounts, dealing with government agencies, dealing with contracts. I mean, it deals with all matters outside the trust. So power of attorney is a very useful document for people to avoid guardianship.
Okay, good. Well, that answers my question. Thanks. Enjoy your show.
All right, thank you so much. You're listening to Ask an Attorney all about Florida law. If you have a legal question or a problem, doesn't even have to be a legal problem, just a problem, you can call the show. I'll be glad to try to help you, get you pointed in the right direction, give you some information, hopefully give you a little peace of mind. Understanding things sometimes is just peace of mind. You have a toll-free number, 877-943-9673. 877-943-9673. Phone lines are open. Let's go to Patricia in Auburndale. Good morning.
Good morning.
What can we do for you?
Yes. I wanted to ask you if you think ladybird deeds are a good idea, and if I have a ladybird deed, I'm a widow, do I also need a will or a trust?
All right, well, the reason a person would do a ladybird deed is to avoid probate. Is that why you would do one?
Yes.
Okay. Well, there's no transfer, just like a bank account that's paid on death, nothing really happens until you die. So the difference between a ladybird deed as to avoiding probate and a living trust, and I prefer the trust. And the reason why is the successor trustee of your trust can access the property in the trust for your benefit while you're living if need be. And all of your other assets in a trust while you're living, like instead of a paid-on-death bank account, the asset would be in the trust. You know, most people become incapacitated for a year or two or so before they die, and they need someone to manage their assets while they're living. While the paid-on-death accounts and the ladybird deeds, really there's nothing happens until death. So my preference on if I recommend something and somebody asks me this question, I tell them I think a trust is a better route to go. And the cost difference is not all that great between a trust package and a will package with a ladybird deed. So most people wind up doing a trust.
And how much do you charge for a trust?
Well, okay, so a trust. Are you single or married?
I'm a widow.
Widow. So a trust package for a widow, for a single person, is $795, and that includes a living trust, pour-over will, a durable power of attorney / healthcare surrogate, a living will. So all of those documents are included in the package. And if you did just a will, a power of attorney, healthcare surrogate, living will, and a ladybird deed, it's very close to the same price.
Yes. Okay. I'll think about this. All right.
All right. Well, very good. You do that. All right. And I hope you have a great weekend, great Saturday.
Okay. You too. And thank you for the information.
My pleasure. You're listening to Ask an Attorney, all about Florida law. I'm Attorney Joe Pippen, licensed in the state of Florida. I have a few other attorneys in my firm that are licensed in other states, but primarily we practice just in Florida. One of my attorneys is licensed in Georgia. Let me think about this. One's licensed in Georgia, one's licensed in Illinois, one's licensed in Michigan. So I do have attorneys that work in Florida, live in Florida, that have went to law school and worked in other states for a little bit and have licenses there. But basically, it's a Florida law firm. My license is just in Florida. And if I can help you in any way, give us a call, 877-943-9673. Let's go to Carol in Sarasota. Hey, Carol.
Hello?
Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning.
Hi, it's Cheryl. It's not Carol, but that's okay.
Okay.
My question is I don't know if you're familiar with Ohio laws, but my sister had died, and she had a life insurance policy, and the insurance company contacted me, and I have been very slow to claim that because the house she lived in had taxes owed on it. So I was thinking that the state of Ohio would come after me about those taxes, and then I have to pay that out of that, the insurance. So that's why I was calling.
No, I would go ahead and claim the money. I don't think anybody's going to. If you're a beneficiary of a life insurance policy, technically that's not in the estate. Technically, that happens all outside of the state. You submit a death certificate to the life insurance company. They send you a check. That's not subject to a claim.
Okay.
Well, and if it was subject to a claim, which it's not, but if it was, they could only access that money. So if you're really not the rest of your estate. So if you're really super worried about it, if you just took the money, get the money, put it in an account, and let it sit there for a while, and at least if they come after you, but I'm 99% sure there's no way that they would come after that money.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the advice. I wasn't too sure because it was one of those kind of things, but I thank you, and I did send you a card quite some time ago. And I hope you have yourself a wonderful day. I really do appreciate it.
All right. My pleasure.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's go to Jean in Clearwater.
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
My pleasure.
Mine is a real estate question. My husband and I live in a townhouse, and for the past couple of years, we have been pursuing a lawsuit against the builder. We've had a professional come out and check. We have sound issues. They can hear us through the wall. And now we have sold our home. And the question is, in the sale, which we will close within 30 days, my husband feels that we need to disclose it in the contract or to the realtor. Now, the question is, it wasn't us that filed the lawsuit. It wasn't us, but it was our neighbor. And they filed the lawsuit. We knew about it, and we participated a little bit. We told him we'd give him a little money. If everything went through, then he would pay to have new walls, new, boards and everything put in. So we haven't done anything. The lawsuit's been dropped because it's now getting ready to go to a trial, and it would cost us a lot more money. So my question is, do we have to disclose it because we know of it, even though it does involve us, but it doesn't involve us in the pursuit of the sound, of hearing people next door?
So you can hear people next door are they make noise beyond the average amount of noise somebody would make? I mean, do they?
No, it's not above the average noise. But when we had the sound test, it did show that the builder was insufficient in putting the right board in there. But he did get, of course, everything was passed locally. But, the state has a different sound requirement than the county. And so we thought we could pursue it that way because he has a Florida state contractor's license. Well, he eventually, closed the business and went bankrupt, of course. So my question is, do I have to, everything is now gone away, but it's only gone away probably in the last 90 days. We knew about it. Do I have to disclose it to
So the contractor built the property according to the county standards?
Yes, his license.
So it was inspected by the county and everything was fine? Okay.
Yes, everything was fine. Yes.
Well, here's the deal. I mean, I could tell you, no, I think it was inspected by the county, met all the building standards and everything. I think you're safe. But, anybody can sue anybody. So somebody can sue you and tell you, you should have disclosed it. Then you're in a battle of whether or not you should have disclosed it, which might be a 50-50 call anyway.
Okay, that's my question. Yeah.
So let me ask you this, though. The contract for sale, does it say as is?
That's a very good question. I think it does as is. But later on down there, you're supposed to disclose if you know anything, whether someone died in the house or something happened. There isn't a clause somewhere, a numbered clause.
Yeah.
It just says, do you know anything that you need to disclose about any lawsuits or anything? We don't have the lawsuit. We didn't enter in the lawsuit.
Yeah, well, the lawsuit has no effect on your property.
That's true. It doesn't.
No, so it doesn't affect your property. And who would decide if something is too loud or not? I mean, what neighbor would decide if anything is too loud or not?
The only thing he could pull up would be the report from the gentleman that did the testing, and it was below code for Florida State. It was. But and he said, well, the builder says, well, forget it. I did everything I was supposed to do. It's not, I did what I got approved.
How long have you owned the house?
3 years.
3 years?
3 years. And it's interesting, the person that lives over there hardly lives there at all because of COVID. Things have changed with its location, and he spends more time elsewhere. But we were told that part of the reason was that he could hear us. He could hear us in the kitchen. He could hear us talking, even in walking into the bedroom. So we know about it. That's my question, is that do you think, you're right, anybody can sue anybody. and we don't want to face a lawsuit down the road, but I don't know what to do. I thought maybe we should hire a real estate attorney.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I was going to tell you next. I think you hire a real estate attorney, let them look at the statutes on disclosure.
Okay. Right.
And pay them some money, and then they'll be responsible for whatever decision is made.
Well, that's a good answer. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate what you do and enjoy listening to you.
Well, thank you. My pleasure. Thank you. You're listening to Ask an Attorney all about Florida law. If you have a legal question, you have a toll-free number, 877-943-9673. Phone lines are open. Let's go to Peggy in Jacksonville.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for taking the call. I have a question about a trust. My father has a trust, and my sister and I are both trustees of the trust. So once he passes, does that take away any capability of anything in the trust having to go to probate?
No, the purpose of really a trust, or one of the main purposes of a trust, is any assets in the trust do not have to go through probate.
Okay.
But so here's the example. Suppose your dad had 5 bank accounts.
Right.
And suppose 4 of them was in the trust and 1 was not for some reason.
Okay.
The 1 would go through probate, but the 4 that are in the trust would avoid probate.
Okay. Okay. And what we've done is put his bank accounts in the trust and also like CDs and things like that. We've tried to cover every part of it we could. We also own farmland in Georgia. And on the deed, it says my name and my father's name, that he has the living right or it's a life estate for him.
Mm-hmm.
So when he passes, that automatically comes to me. That also does not have to go to probate.
Correct. That's, I think you're referring to a life estate deed?
Yes. Yeah,
so, yeah, if he has the life interest while he's living and you're the remainder named in the deed, you just file a death certificate, you become the owner.
Okay, perfect. Okay, well, that's awesome. I appreciate your help. Do you know anything about dead trees and people being responsible for that?
You're talking about your next door neighbor has a dead tree and you're worried about it falling on your property?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I would report it to, I would tell the neighbor, I'm going to, whether this is true or not, I'm going to hold you liable for you if that dead tree of yours falls and does damage on my property, and put them on notice. Now, whether that's going to work or not is questionable, but you have the right to trim dead limbs or any property, any limbs, whether they're dead or not, up your property line. You can trim those yourself.
Okay.
And you can also call the county and report a dangerous dead tree and see if they'll do something about it.
Okay, awesome. Well, I paid to have the limbs cut from over the actual yard, but they go way over my house. So, I mean, it would have been, I paid over $3,000 just to have trim what I did, and he would not even help with that because I was willing to help take the tree down just so it's not a hazard, but they're not willing to participate.
Well, put him on
that,
notice in writing and see if the county can assist with a dead tree with the neighbor designated.
Awesome.
All right?
Thank you. You have a great day.
Thank you. All right, let's go to Steve in Jacksonville.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Hey, Joe, I had a question. I had a roof done in 2018, and the vast majority of the contract was paid. There was some dispute about some materials that were overcharged, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But to make a long story short, basically the roofer put like a small lien, and recorded it with the courthouse.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing's happened since then. Other than, like I said, I got a certified letter from him. This is back probably in October, a few months after the project was completed.
Mm-hmm.
What do I need to do to get that removed? And can you explain the process? Because, like I said, no further action. I haven't been notified by the company of anything since that time.
How long ago was the lien placed?
This was 2018, like the fall of 2018.
So liens, you can contest a lien, and that shortens the period of time that would be valid. And I forget.
I didn't do that.
I forget the timelines on it, though, because it also, if you don't take action on a lien, it also becomes valid after X number of years or, yeah. So you can contest it to shorten the period of time that they can enforce it. If you contest it, they have to file an action with so many months. Now, I forget all the timelines on that. It's not exactly in my practice wheel, but I know the answer is that it becomes void. Your question is when. I'd have to research that for you.
Okay, but just to be clear, I did not contest it. Like I said, I wasn't aware of that. But I thought after so long, if they don't take action,
Yeah, it does. It becomes null and void. It might be null and void already, but it does become null and void if they don't take action on it. But if you contest it, you shorten that. If you contest it, you shorten the site. Hey, if you send me an email, I'll tell you a website where you can get an answer to that question.
Well, just to be clear, I know it's time's of the essence. I didn't, like I said, contest it. Like I said, I haven't heard anything beyond that either.
Yeah, send me an email.
Okay.
I answer questions on this website, and you could post that and get several answers real quick.
Okay, can you just provide the email real quick?
Joe, Joe, at attypip.com.
Okay, appreciate it.
All
okay,
right.
I'll do that.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You're listening to Ask an Attorney, all about Florida law, about halfway through the show. If you have a legal question, you have a toll-free number, 877-943-9673. That's 877-943-9673. Phone lines are open. Let's go to Guy in Bradenton.
Hello?
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having my call. I had a question. My wife and I want to use our sailboat to take people out on trips in Tampa Bay. And, well, wasn't sure if I needed some sort of liability insurance, or do I just need to have them sign liability release forms for any risk?
Well, both. I would have insurance because you never know. You have it's like a doctor. You sign something, doctor's not gonna be liable. But if the doctor has malpractice on you, then no matter what you sign, you could probably still go after the doctor. So it's the same with you. You get them to sign a disclosure and accept their own liabilities for anything, and your engine blows up because you didn't do something, you knew about some maintenance problem you didn't do, you're still liable. So the safe thing to do is to get them to sign a prepared statement that they hold you harmless against anything that happens to them. But on the other hand, I would have lots of insurance if you're going to do that.
And what kind of insurance would that be, do you think?
Just liability insurance. Do you have a business license to do this?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, do you have a corporation, which would be another good thing to do on this too? Put your boat in the corporation.
Yes, I have that.
And do you have? Well, just talk to your insurance agent that insures your home. See if they do business insurance. Just be liability business insurance, just like a cab driver would have, basically.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, great.
All
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. You're listening to Ask an Attorney, all about Florida law. Again, I'm Attorney Joe Pippen, practicing attorney. The law office is open. And let's go to, have we talked to Jerry? No? All right, Jerry in Jacksonville.
Yes. A while ago, during the last year, I made a purchase using a credit card. And I didn't make the purchase. I'm sorry to say that. Someone made one in my name using my credit card. And I notified the credit card company, and they started an inquiry, and they turned out that I was right. Someone had done that. Remarkably, they sent me the name and address of the person that used it and where they did it, and it was to the tune of $62. Well, since then, it's all been rectified. I will not have to pay this. But I'm wondering, can some kind of action be taken against this person?
Well, yeah,
I don't mean. Go ahead.
You could report
him
to.
sue him for damages, but go ahead.
You could report him to the police.
To the local police of the town where this was done?
Yes.
Okay, so they lived in Ohio. The purchase was made in St. Louis. Which one of those do I report it to?
Where they live.
Where they live. Okay. Yeah, I hate to see. I'm not. I've already been covered. I'm going to get my 62 back, but I hate to see someone get off with something like this.
Did you get it back from the person themselves?
No, I got it back from the credit company.
Yeah.
From the credit card. It was taken off my account.
Yeah, well, it's theft.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I would guess you're not the only person that has suffered, and expect that until somebody reports them and they have a penalty to pay for their action, they'll continue doing it. So yeah, I'd report it to the police in the county they live.
Okay, thank you. That's good direction for me. Okay, thanks a lot.
All right, thank you. My pleasure. You're listening to Ask an Attorney. How can I help you? If you have a legal question, hey, I'd love to try. Yeah, and you have a toll-free number to call, 877-943-9673. You're listening on multiple stations around Florida. Broadcasting today from Tampa, the Salem family of stations carry the program, 570, 910, 860, 930. They all have FM components as well. So there's probably at least four more stations with FM signals, and that's out of the Tampa area. You're also listening to 96.3 FM out of Sun City Center, community station there. There's an FM, a different station there in Sun City also under the same umbrella, 101.1 FM. You're listening to 1340 out of Clearwater, WTAN. You're listening to 90.3 FM out of Haines City, Florida, Landmark Baptist Church, WLVF. And you're listening to WBOB in Jacksonville. May have forgotten somebody here, but those are most of the stations we broadcast live on every Saturday morning. And let's go to Henry. I'm sorry, let's go to Jim in Jacksonville, I think was the next caller. Hey, Jim.
Hi, how are you this morning?
I'm doing great, and you?
I'm fine. I would like to create a trust for 3 grown grandchildren.
Okay.
That I could fund so that they could possibly use it to purchase a house or medical expenses or whatever sometime later on. But what I don't want them to do, because they're grown teenagers or early 20s, so that they don't spend the money right away. Is there any way that I can put a provision in the trust so that it would be a minimum of maybe 10 or 15 years before the money could be used for that? And it can grow, or I can continue to fund it for them so that whenever they do need the money, that it's there available to them.
Well, yeah, while you are living, you can make gifts, of course. You can give up to $15,000 per year without reporting it as a gift. Over $15,000, you report it, but you don't have to pay. There's a way not to pay a tax on that. If you die, your trust could continue. You could have what I call a 10-year stretch. So your trust could be distributed 1/10, 1/9, 1/8 over 10 years after you die. The danger in saying the trustee could buy them a house, the danger is the trustee could buy them a house and the house is in their name. They could sell it, keep all the money. So I would usually just stick with a 10-year stretch. You can amend the trust anytime you want to. They can use their money as it dribbles out over 10 years as down payments, and they have the security that would happen because your trust upon your death became irrevocable. The trustee has to do what you say. So if you say a 10-year stretch, they have money to look forward to for 10 years that could pay the mortgage payment and so forth.
Okay. One last thing. Let's say that I purchase stock for each one of the trusts for the children.
Well, you could do all this in one trust, by the way.
Okay. Would I pay the taxes on any dividends or anything that the stocks would, pay out, or would the children be responsible for paying the?
Well, if you want total control over the money while you're living in your trust, the distribution of them, it wouldn't be theirs actually. You'd have to create separate trusts for them if you want it to be theirs while they're living. So the simple way for you to do what you want to do is just have one trust yourself. You invest and put money in it like you normally would upon your death. Then you can make gifts while you're living. but upon your death, it goes 3 equal shares over a 10-year period and controlled by a trustee of your choice. And all along the way until death, you would pay the tax if you did it that way.
Okay, very good. Okay, great. All right, thank you very much.
All right, Jim, we have offices in Jacksonville, and we don't charge anything for a first meeting consult. So if you're ever interested in that, if you have your own attorney, great. Discuss all this with them. But if not, and you need someone.
What is your Jacksonville office number?
Let me give you the 800 number, because
okay.
1-800. 226.
All right.
3529.
Very good. Okay, thank you so much.
And also, for everyone listening, we do phone appointments. Also, if you're more interested in just having like a half an hour phone appointment to discuss something like this, that's available too, just to get on my calendar. Okay. All right. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
You're listening to Ask an Attorney, all about Florida law. I'm Attorney Joe Pippen, practicing attorney. Phone lines are open right now at 877-943-9673. Let's go to Henry in Sarasota.
Okay.
Okay, Henry, what can we do? Yes, sir. What can we do for you?
Hey, good morning. I was curious. I was recently in a hospital for a shoulder operation, and I got really sick. And I knew what needed to be done to stop the sickness, the throwing up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had the operation like hours before. They fed me really bad, oily, greasy food, and it just didn't work. You know, I should have had applesauce or something like that. But my point is, I got one notice that I owed them some money, and then my next notice was from a credit, a collection agency. And I was thinking, and it's like, why should I have to pay them after they almost killed me? What I was wondering was, is there a way, since I only got one notice, and 9 months later the next one was from a credit collection agency, so it's on my credit, ruining my credit, and I would have paid them even though I didn't want to.
Well, listen, here's what you need to do. You need to have a meeting with the hospital administrator.
Okay.
To discuss it. You can write a certified letter and meet with the hospital administrator to discuss why you don't want to pay it. And You can usually come to some compromise on something if you do that.
Even though it was turned over to a collection agency?
Well, you can certainly try that. I mean, you can deal with the collection agency, but the hospital administrator at the end of the day is the one that can negotiate and reduce it or eliminate it.
Even though it's no longer in their hands.
Well, basically, the collector is collecting it for them.
Oh, that changes everything.
So
yeah, okay. And by their own admission, they only sent one notice, and that was immediately after I was, like a week or two after I was out of the hospital. I would have paid it. And I was thinking about just taking them to see if I could take them to small claims court, and on that basis, hey, you didn't give me any real notice. Unless one is sufficient, I don't see how that would be. Otherwise, they would all just send one notice.
Yeah.
But,
see if you can get a meeting with the hospital. See if the hospital administrator will meet with you to discuss it. Because you can give a valid reason to the collection company of why you're not going to pay it, and put them on notice that you don't believe that it's due. But at the end of the day, somebody's going to have to negotiate with the hospital administrator to collect a lesser amount.
Okay, I'll try it. Certified letter to the administration of the hospital, and you don't think small claims would,
and copy the certified letter to the collection agency.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
All right, thanks.
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right.
I listen to your show every morning, and I love it.
Thank you very much. All right.
You're welcome.
Let's go to Charles in Jacksonville.
Good morning.
Morning.
My question is, my mother has been renting a room in her home to a woman, and things aren't working out. The first thing is that she has no contract, and nothing's been signed by either party. And since things aren't working out, she says that she's going to move, but that never seems to happen. And now her son has got out of jail and says he has to stay in the county. The probate says that he has to stay in the county. And so now he is in the house. And I was wondering if she could just do like a certified letter, or if we need to get a attorney involved in this.
Is there a lease involved?
No, there's nothing, legally signed as far as a lease or anything. It was all done verbally.
All right. Well, if it's verbal, then it's a month-to-month lease. And
Okay.
if it's month-to-month, she could give notice. Well, now it's May 1st, so she has to give notice, and then the tenant probably has until the end of June to vacate. So you basically have to go through an eviction.
Uh-huh.
So it's good to start with a 3-day notice to leave, though, and see if that works. And then if either you or your mother might have to hire an attorney to do the actual eviction properly.
Okay,
but if you give them a 3-day notice to leave and see if that puts a little pressure on them to leave, and then just be a bulldog on getting them to leave.
Did you say 3-day or 30-day?
No, well, 3-day notice. But a month-to-month tenant, which is a verbal lease, you have to like if they'd given them notice yesterday, they could leave at the end of May. Since now it's May 1st, my understanding is they can stay there till June. So you give them notice sometime on a prior month. They have 30 days to leave. So if it had been yesterday, April 30th, they'd have to leave at the end of May. Since it's May 1st, they're probably going to have the right to stay there till the end of June. But you have to give them notice to get them to leave in writing, and tell them if they don't leave, then you'll evict.
Okay.
All right?
All right, I think that's what we'll try first.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, good luck. Let's go to Joe in Jacksonville.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
Doing good.
Hey, thanks for taking my question. You do great work. Question, mother-in-law was married. He passed away. She got the deed to the house. He has 3 previous children, and the mother-in-law has 3 children. When she dies, does his children have anything to do with the deed of the house or no?
If it's totally in her name, it's totally under her control as to who she leaves it to.
Okay. So whoever she decides to put on her, that's on her.
Yeah, if she's a total owner, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you for the question. I appreciate it.
All right, my pleasure. All right, let's go to Jill.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Jill.
I have a weird question for you.
I like weird. There's an entertainment factor to weird questions.
That's right. It might be. But anyways, I'll keep the dirty details out of it. 35 years ago, I had a chain link fence put around my yard. And the people who did the fence, reputable company, they did not follow the survey markers. And they gave my next door neighbor about 3 feet of my yard. I don't care. I wasn't going to remove the fence because there were trees and plants, and I think they just, rather than to come over this way, they went over that way and whatever. So my neighbor has about 3 feet of my yard. I want to give that to her, so I need to have my yard resurveyed, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And they could probably, you don't have to do anything, and sooner or later somebody could file an adverse possession lawsuit to claim it.
Yeah. Well, I want her to have it. It's beyond my fence. As far as I'm concerned, it's her yard. She's got plants there. I've got plants here.
Mm-hmm.
I just as soon have it done legally. So what do I do?
Yeah, get it resurveyed.
Okay. I get it resurveyed.
And then just have a deed.
I have a deed, yeah.
The deeds would be redone to reflect what's on the survey.
Okay. So So, I mean, I just call a surveyor, or would I call?
Yeah, no, call a surveyor first to resurvey it.
Okay.
That way.
Okay. So they will survey it based on the way the fence is now?
Yeah, along the new way that y'all agreed for the property line to be, yes.
Okay, good. Now, do I have to involve my neighbors in it at all? Because they're okay with it. They just as soon have it.
No, it's your property,
done legally.
technically. It's your property, so it'd be on you to do that.
Okay, good. That's great. All right. Perfect then. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Bye, hon.
All right, let's go to Bud in Bradenton.
Hey, Joe. I live in a waterfront community down in Bradenton, and we have a little yacht club. It was chartered in 1972, and we put in some aids to navigation, channel markers, coming off the intercoastal into Palmasola Bay, and they're called privately maintained aids to navigation. That's how the Coast Guard refers to them. We understand we're responsible for them. So several months ago, unbeknownst to us, one of the markers was knocked down at night and not reported to anyone. And then several days later, a boat hit the stump of the piling, did some damage to his boat. He contacted the Coast Guard, and the Coast Guard said, no, we're not responsible for him. This club who put him in is responsible for him. So as soon as the Coast Guard notified us, we went and put some markers on the remaining stump to warn boaters. So our thought is, since we marked them with buoys as soon as the Coast Guard notified us, are we responsible for the damage to his boat?
We meaning who's
our yacht club, our club who installed the markers in 1972.
Well, has the person filed a lawsuit against the yacht club?
Was that a lawsuit? He's come to us wanting payment for damages. He hasn't filed any lawsuit yet.
How much are the damages?
He claims around $3,000.
Yeah.
And our thought was, let's go ahead and pay him, but we open up a can of worms to future liability, saying, yeah, you've admitted liability because you paid this guy, now bodily injury or something, later on by somebody else.
Well, so was there a duty to mark those years ago when the yacht club first did it?
Yeah, they were properly marked with the red and green, properly.
So they thought they had a duty to do it then.
It was not a duty. It was an aid to navigation to get into the channel without running aground.
Yeah.
And since then, a lot more homes have been built around, so a lot more communities are using those aids to get to their little individual private channels and whatnot.
I don't know.
Manatee County is going to take over responsibility and liability for them, but they haven't done it yet, so they're still registered to us, our club.
Well, here's the danger. Here's the danger as I'm thinking about this. If you did not pay him, and they filed a lawsuit, and he won, everyone would know. It'd be on the public records.
Sure.
If you pay him, you can get him to agree not to disclose the settlement as part of the condition of paying him.
Uh-huh.
And then only he and the yacht club people that are involved would know.
Okay.
So for more privacy reasons, and not making it a public issue, because a lawsuit could be a public issue, because a guy could, part of his strategy on getting you to pay would be, well, I'm going to post the negligence of the yacht club.
Sure, make it be known to everybody.
Yeah. So my gut feeling tells me to pay it and get him to sign a non-disclosure about the whole matter for acceptance.
Okay, that'd be the cheapest, quickest, easiest way.
It seems like it would be to me.
Yeah. Okay, well, do you think we would be responsible since we acted upon the Coast Guard's notice?
Well, that's one of my earlier questions. Anybody can sue anybody, and that's one of those 50-50 questions. It could probably, you could pay more money than $3 to defend it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe
appreciate
still lose. Okay, all right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You're listening to Ask an Attorney, all about Florida law. Let me see if I can get one more call in here. Let's go to Sarah in Tampa.
Hi, I just have a quick comment for Jerry, the person who had his credit card number stolen.
Yes.
He should, if he hasn't already done so, get a new credit card number, because that happened to my son, and his credit union had him come in right away and change it, because old number is out there somewhere.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I hope he did that, and probably did, because once there's credit card fraud, the company almost makes you do that. But that's great advice, though. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening to Ask an Attorney, all about Florida law. Join me again next week, the same time. If you have a legal question, tell you know where I am. Tell your friends about it. Be glad to help them as well. You have a great weekend. So long.
The proceeding is sponsored by the law offices of Joe Pippen. Learn more by visiting attypip.com.
Faith Talk 570.